Live from the studios of NBC 12 and ABC 25, this is First Coast News at 6.
So how safe is your wireless technology?
A voice answered me back after I said, Alexa, turn off the lights.
On your side's Ken Amaro spoke with a local family who says their devices were listening and watching them. And the manhunt continues tonight for a cop killer. Authorities raising the reward to $100,000 for a suspect's capture. Plus, we have an Amber Alert canceled tonight, but questions still unanswered. Good evening, I'm Anthony Austin. Heather Crawford is following the latest developments after authorities say a 16-year-old was possibly kidnapped in Ponte Vedra. Heather.
Right, Anthony, this morning your smartphone or tablet probably alerted you to that Amber Alert. Well, tonight we have learned that the 16-year-old boy at the center of that alert, Marcus Hatch, has been found safe right here in Jacksonville. Now, police started looking for him after responding to a home invasion in Ponte Vedra. That investigation then led them to believe that he had been kidnapped at gunpoint. All of the suspects involved in this tonight are still on the loose, and authorities believe that they may be in a stolen 2009 gray Subaru Legacy with a Florida Air Force tag AKN6. On your side's Clark Foraker has been following this story from the very beginning. He joins us now live from Ponte Vedra, from that neighborhood where the home invasion happened and where several people were tied up. Clark, a very scary situation for those folks.
Heather, investigators say it started about 8 p.m. last night, and that's when the two armed men entered the apartment and held at gunpoint the couple who was inside. Well, this elaborate crime continued, and later in the night, a third gunman walked in the apartment holding Hatch at gunpoint. Then a fourth person, who was a roommate of the couple, walked in, another victim. By the time it was all said and done, the three victims were tied up, and three gunmen, investigators believe, left the apartment with Hatch in that gray car you mentioned. Well, obviously investigators have found Hatch right now, and they want to know more about another car and another person of interest they've located who they have surveillance videos of from Arlington. So now investigators are working not only here in St. Johns County, but also in Duval County. And neighbors here say all of this overnight and into today is just very uncommon for their part of town.
It just doesn't make any sense. And, you know, this is a good part of town. It always has been.
So I just got up, a little bit ago, so I didn't hear anything. I just got my Amber Alert on the phone and saw the helicopter. Thought, what the heck is going on here?
So I talked to the sheriff's office earlier today and asked them quite specifically, what's the motive for all of this elaborate story that went, 12 or so hours? They say right now they're not able to talk about that because they could need that information in the courtroom. What they do want is to talk to the person who is wearing that blue Kentucky sweatshirt along with the other suspects and find that white Jeep Grand Cherokee. They say the people they're talking to believe that the people who were in this apartment did have guns, and they say people should not approach them but call law enforcement if they find someone they think is connected. In Ponte Vedra, I'm Clark Foraker, First Coast News.
So many moving parts to this story, and as you can imagine, an incident like this, it can be just terrifying for any parent. Today, On Your Side's Ann Schindler spoke with a good family friend of the 16-year-old's mother at the center of this all. She joins us live from the newsroom, continuing now our team coverage. Ann?
Well, I spoke to a longtime friend of Tracy Hatch's today. She says she was shocked when she heard the Amber Alert this morning and immediately rushed to the West Side apartment where Tracy Hatch has lived with her two sons for years. But when she got there, she learned from a neighbor that her friend had moved out a week ago. Kara Turney described Tracy Hatch as a vibrant, funny person who made a terrific Puerto Rican rice. She said she was also a devoted mom and that Marcus Hatch was her baby.
He loves his mom. He really does. He's a mama's boy. Both of her kids are very extremely protective of their mother. She's a great mom. She's a wonderful parent. She's taught me a lot about single parenting and about how to single parent boys. And this has got to be killing her.
Kara told me she was shocked and scared for her friend and came out today just to give her a big hug and tell her she loved her, something she was not able to do today. Live in the newsroom, Ann Schindler, First Coast News.
Thank you, Ann. And we've asked for the 911 calls from the home invasion. The sheriff's office tells us that they're not available right now because this is still an active investigation. And tonight on First Coast News at 7 o'clock, we're going to break down just how many lives have been saved thanks to the help of the Amber Alert system. And for more on this developing story, to see all the pictures that we have, the cars they're looking for, just head to our website. It's firstcoastnews.com. NBC24.com.